Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the last part on custom painting a Volkswagen T4 bonnet. Left you off in part 3 and we've got the artwork down and completed and the logo, and we got it into grey base coat and put all that bit on. So it's finished. Now I say finished, it's not, because we've got the clear coating to do, but before you do your clear coating on the bonnet you've just painted, double check it. Now I've gone round this and I've found a couple of bits that I need to touch up. Staring at the artwork, looking round, thinking, yeah, I could just sort of tweak that a little bit. And now's the time to do it, because you've got like a keyed up surface all round here. Everything else is keyed up. We can go back in on the artwork, it's not a problem. Logo's absolutely fine. Going to go around a little bit more of the grey. There's just a little pass around here to do. A little bit more darks into the eyes. And I'll call that one done. Then I'll let that go off, let that dry down. And then the first thing you want to do after you've done that is set the bonnet up however you want to do it, whether you want to do it hanging up, you feel like doing it like we did where we did the base coat, or laying it flat. Now I'm going to lay this flat because I want to get a nice build of clear over the top of the artwork and the logo, because you've got an edge. It's not a lot of an edge, but you've got a little edge between the different layers of paint. So if you go too thin, you'll see like a little bump. You usually see that when people clear coat over like vinyl graphics and things like that. You have to use a lot of clear coat to bury the edges, put a lot of build up on it to sort of lose them edges, and then you've got to flat it to sort of lose it. So I'm going to lay this flat as it is now, as you see it, and we'll clear coat it this way. So once you've got your touching up bit done, you've had a good look around it and touched everywhere what you need to do, either hang it up like I say or lay it flat. Then go in and I'm going to blow it off first, then go in with some panel wipe degreaser, because we've lifted it off the easel, put it down, you've moved around it, you've been working on it, touching bits up. Just give it a clean down in panel wipe degreaser. Nice wipe over, let that dry, and then I would blow it off again, tack rag it. And if I had a stat gun, I'd stat it down. Stat it over the top, and that just takes sort of it grounds the panel and takes any particles off. You'll notice that when you put a stat gun on a panel, it just stops a lot of the stuff attracting to it when you're sort of walking by, because you're kicking up dust and stuff. Every time you're moving around in your studio and pacing around, it's just sort of kicking up. Particles you can't see, but they just land on it, and it's basically dirt. And that's what's happening when you've clear coated it, bits land in it. So good clean down before you start, and then set your gun up. Now, the gun that I'm going to use, I'm just going to use the GTI Pro, because I really enjoyed using it for the base coat on the 1.2 with the TE10. So I've changed the setup in it to a 1.3 with the T110 air cap, put a new cup on it, so I've just changed the cup over to a newer cup. Give it a good clean through, and I'm going to use this. Now settings on this, I'm just going to go full fan, full fluid, 2 bar pressure, job done. When it comes to sort of the edges, I'll be using the trigger and putting the amount of paint down that I want, sort of like holding it and gauging it a half trigger, and then putting that pass of half down. Same when I do the first coat, I won't be going full trigger, I'll just be giving it that, and then I know where to sort of lock my finger and give it so much paint. I'll go in and just give it a sort of like a, not a full-on wet coat on the first coat, but a closed coat on the first coat. Let it flash off for around 10-15 minutes, depending on your temperature. 10-15 minutes sort of ballpark, and then go in for your second coat and go round your panel the same way as you did the first time. Don't think, oh, I'm going to do it this way this time, or I'll try. If you just go round the first way, you get comfortable in that movement going round. So when you go for your second coat, it's just a little bit easier, because you've gone the same way around it and go the same pass over it. And if you're dropping a third coat on, you go the same way around it. I'll be doing that with this. I'll be doing 2 coats and then letting it flash that a little bit longer, and then dropping a third light coat over the top, just wet it up with a light finishing coat on the top. So that's how I'm going to do it. The clear that we're using today, I've got the cap set 60/30 HS clear coat. It's a really nice clear coat at a good price. You're getting a good clear coat for a good price, guys. You really are. It lays down nice. I've had personally no dramas with this clear coat on the jobs that I've used it on. There's been no dieback issues, no loss of gloss. It polishes up nice. It stays shiny. The jobs that I have done with it and I've seen sort of again, like a year later, it's been absolutely fine. It holds up really nice. So a good clear coat by Capset is a good price. Yes, you can spend a lot more money on clear coat. You really can. You can go way up there in the prices, and there are some amazing clear coats out there. And I've used some really good ones in the past. But the prices of the ones I've used in the past that were really good when I got them, and they were reasonable at the time, the prices have just shot up. They really have gone extortionate, and I can't warrant buying 5.5 litres of that to have it just sitting there and waiting to do jobs with it. I'd rather buy these small cans because you get them in kits like this. You get your hardener and your clear coat. I'll leave a link in the description to this one, and it's just a really good price. It really is, and you can get a few jobs. You get a couple of big jobs out of this kit, not a problem. So it's nice, easy doing it that way, and you've not got loads of clear coat hanging around, half cans of clear coat. You tend to use them up and just order another small kit, nice and easy. Paint strainers, I've got the 190 micron fine mesh strainers. So you strain your clear coat before you put it in the gun, because I guarantee if you don't, when you mix clear coat and you tip your hardener, you always get that little crusty bit around the lid and it drops in, or a little bit around the clear coat cap just drops in. Clean your gun out as well, give your gun a good flush through, clean it, then drop some thinners in it, clip the airline on, blast it through a few times, and always make sure on DeVilbiss, when you use DeVilbisses, if you're a DIYer and you're using these guns at home, it happens to all of us, is the threads on the lids. When you clean it, when I clean these, I'll blast through, so because I had base coat in this, I put a bit of thinner in, swill it like that, tip the paint out, then put some cleaner in, shake it up, blast it through till it blasts through clear. And then what I'll do is put some thinner in and then just pinch around the cup like that with the microfiber with thinners on the rag and just wipe these threads. Make sure you clean the threads on the cups, because when paint dries up in these, especially clear coat, and you've cleaned your gun out but you've not cleaned your lid, and then you do this, put your on the shelf, the clear coat that's in that dries and then you can't get the lid off. You're trying to grip and get the lid off. It's always best to, if you've cleaned your gun in your studio, wipe your threads and then just put your lid on, but don't tighten it all the way up, just leave it loose like that, just on like one turn, so it does this but don't fall off, and you won't get any issues with it drying up. So just clean your threads and take your caps off and just soak your caps, because you can get clear coat that just teardrops out the front and it dries up over the little air holes at the front. So just soak your cap, have a look through, blow it through, clean it, put that on the side. I'll sometimes leave these on the gun hangers like this. I've cleaned it and then I'll just drop about that much thinner in and just leave thinner sitting to the front. And then when I come to use it again, I'll just pinch and clean that bit, because you'll get a little teardrop of clear coat or whatever you've used build up. Just clean that, give it a quick blast through, a few drops of thinners, shake it up, blast it through with the airline on, and you know it's clean and you're good to go. So always keep your guns clean and they'll last. It's only when you abuse them and leave them with painting, it just ruins them. Especially with your primer guns. Primer guns and clear coat guns, when you're using that for base coat, it's not too bad, a little bit easier to clean out. But anything that's got the hardener in it, like the clears or the primers, you really have got to keep them clean. The beauty of a body shop is you've got the gun machine where you can just tip your paint out. You've got the luxury of just chucking the whole gun in the gun wash machine. It runs a cycle, your gun comes out nice and clean, job done. But the DIYers haven't got that luxury. So cleaning your gun at home can be, you're just going to go through a few more litres of thinners than you would in a gun machine, but keep it clean because they're expensive bits of kit. So we'll move on. I'm going to put you in a time lapse on this, So the way I'm going to paint it will be on the trestle. I'm going to pull the trestle in slightly so it's higher up, so I've got more overhang from the front to the back, so the trestle will be pulled in tighter. Drop a bit of paper over the trestle, keep the dust down. I'll wet the floor in the studio and just spray mist the sheeting around the walls, keep the dust down. And I'll leave the extractor running 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes, and just circulate the air, clean it in here, wipe the bonnet down, and I'll start the edges. I'll go round the edges, then go round the pass like this at that angle to catch the lip here all the way around, and then just do some nice controlled full passes like I did when I put the base coat down, and we'll get a nice coat down, hopefully a clean coat. So I'll see you in the time lapse. There you go guys, in that time lapse you've seen the two coats go down. Got a bit cloudy in here, but it soon clears, like about just under a minute in it's clear. I have got some dirt nibs in it, but it's to be expected. We're not in a booth environment, but it's not bad, there's not loads. It's gone down nice and flat. I'll give you a little pan round, just tell you how it's come out. There you go. That's the finish I've got on it, really nice finish. It's got a few little dirt nibs here, couple here. I've seen them drop in the first coat, some very light ones on the top, but other than that you can see how flat that's gone down on the paintwork. It's gone down really nice. So let this go off. Just going to give this about 15-20 minutes just to flash off, and then I'll put the heater on in here and we'll just cook this up. I mean, it's 26 degrees now, so I'm going to give this about 15-20 minutes to flash off, and then I'll just put the diesel heater on and then just really cook this room up because it will really get hot. So that's the finished piece, looking really nice. So gun settings on the Vw, I ran it 2 bar on the first one, and because I'd thinned the clear out, I thought no, I can bring that pressure back, and I had medium thinners and it was just flowing out nice. So I just brought the pressure down to about 22 psi and just done the second coat at 22. Took my time, just let it build up, and I was just sort of feathering the trigger, not going full trigger. I had it set for full trigger, I wound right out, but I was just bringing the clear into what I want, and then it's just flowing out now, it's just levelling out nice. So I hope you enjoyed it and learnt something along the way on how to custom paint a bonnet. We've got it done in the end. The last stage on this is just to denib, once this is dried off, just to go over with the 1500 grit wet and dry, nib over the tops where the little bits of dirt are, give it a polish, give it a wax, and then it'll be back on the Volkswagen. So thanks for watching guys. Really appreciate your support with the channel and all your comments, like, shares, thumbs up, it all helps the channel grow, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.